What is going on, guys? It is Ahmed, and happy Friday to everybody. I hope everybody is getting ready to have a fantastic weekend. Weekends, of course, are never the same after we start investing. We always look forward to Monday because, again, that's when we're allowed to start trading again. But regardless, I want to give a quick update on Zomedica. Guys, this is one I am following very closely, and I'm going to touch on some things that I actually reached out to the Zomedica headquarters. I gave them a call today. They weren't able to answer my questions quite yet, but hopefully we'll have answers coming soon. Regardless, what a phenomenal start to the day. So it came down to about $2 here per share, up 8.46% since the market opened. Right now, the market has been open for a few hours. So regardless, the thing I want to touch on is the fact that, again, Zomedica is able to continue to break resistance, which around 210 it was for Zomedica. Another resistance point is going to be around $2.20. But regardless, I really think, again, up until the Truforma launch, we're going to continue to see upward volatility in the stock, which I'm very, very optimistic for the short term and the long term. But again, I just want to ensure that I'm giving you guys proper updates and very timely updates as well. So I really liked, if you joined me on my stream earlier, you already heard me cover this article, but I really liked this article that came out this morning from the Motley Fool. Should you buy Zomedica in March? So if you go through, the thing I like is the fact that they have the arguments for. So again, in basic rhetoric, you want to have both sides of the argument in favor of Zomedica and arguments against Zomedica. So in essence, basically what they talk about in the argument for is the fact that, the true innovation of Truforma lies in the fact that the clinics don't need to send their samples off to an outside lab to get results. While this isn't the only product that is going to be able to provide the service, having the diagnostics in-house means practitioners make decisions about patient care much faster, which could lead to better outcomes, of course. We know that for a fact in medicine. Faster results, faster treatment leads to better outcomes, So plus there's a chance that cutting laboratories out of the loop could lead to cost savings for animal healthcare. So if you and I needed a thyroid test, for example, they need a blood sample, take it to a lab. Within 24 to 48 hours, typically, you'll get your result. Now, same thing for animals. And, again, you take a sample, send it out to the lab, and then you get results. But if you could, again, load up a cassette with a sample in-house, put it into this Truforma machine, get your results within 15 to 20 minutes, and then have official diagnosis of either underactive or overactive thyroid. You can look at things like cortisol levels, again, stress, one of the stress hormones, etc. This is very favorable, of course. And again, after it launches in March, sales will slowly ramp up through the end of the year, Q2, Q3, and Q4, so the next 3 quarters. And in the meantime, Zomedica will develop and release new tests that are compatible with the machine, expanding its utility to vets. Increasing the device's portfolio of tests is critical, as each new functionality will likely require customers to purchase new consumables on an ongoing basis. In other words, each new diagnostic will increase the potential for recurring revenues, which could stimulate stock's growth. Fantastic. That is something we all understand very, very well. But again, some of the things that we need to understand is there are some arguments against. And the thing that, again, the title of this video is Why Zomedica Will Turn 5. So this is another good article that I really like. Why $5 in Zomedica stock looks possible, even in the short interim. Now, regardless, if we go back here to the arguments against, the biggest reason to avoid the investment in the short term is that the market may have already priced in the economic impact of the launch of the Truforma, thereby curbing any benefit of the stock purchase this month. So year to date, the stock is up over 780% since the beginning of the year. This is a compelling argument because in aggregate, investors already know what the product does, what its potential market size is, and very roughly the value of the intellectual property used to make it. So buying the stock right now might not result in additional upside when Truforma starts being distributed, or later when Zomedica reports earnings here in the end of Q2, and then Q3 and Q4. So I think the reason that the arguments against are very, very valid. And I'm someone who's, again, I'm extremely bullish. My videos are not for financial advice. Rather, I'm trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. But again, we need to appreciate and understand what are some of the things that are against it. So if it's true that the Truforma launch is already priced into the current stock price, we will see volatility moving forward. Look at this, we're at 220 now, just in the duration of this recording. But regardless, we need to be very careful in that, again, people might sell off as soon as the launch happens, because if they don't see that triple digit ramp up, because again the price is already it's predicted that the price might already be the cost of the Truforma or the benefits of the Truforma might be already priced into the stock. That could affect the argument that Truforma might not have, or Zomedica might not have a continued run up as much as we saw in the previous time period. So regardless, the verdict, and I really like what the investor has to say here. So this is again one of the analysts from Motley Fool. Remember guys, my videos aren't for financial advice, rather I'm just reporting and I'm trying to get you guys on the plays that I'm in. At present, I think Zomedica could be worth an investment that is small relative to the size of your portfolio. 100% I do agree with this, because again, we know that penny stocks in general are very volatile, highly speculative, risky plays. So for my portfolio, never do I exceed more than 10 to 15%. And again, I think that's more aggressive than other investors in penny stocks. If you're someone that is, you understand the risks that come with that, because we saw when the market decided to pull back the last few weeks, we got hit the hardest with our penny stock plays. But now we're seeing a wonderful recovery, thankfully. So if the company performs well throughout the rest of this year and the next year, it might be worth increasing your holdings further. Until then, it's speculative purchase, even if it's one that, again, the person who wrote this article is optimistic about. So there are some of the things that are in favor versus things that are, against the argument for Zomedica. Now, yesterday or a couple days ago now, why $5 in Zomedica stock looks possible. So again, this is one of those opinionated investor place articles, but the thing, if you read through here, is behind the sudden excitement in Zomedica is a nearby game-changing product that already is providing sustainable changes for Zomedica's stock. At the end of March, the veterinary diagnostic company will begin a limited rollout of what's called the Truforma. We know all about this. Truforma will be the first marketed point-of-care diagnostic platform capable of testing for thyroid and adrenal-related health issues in dogs and cats, both, remember. So again, there are similar products to the Zomedica's Truforma, but not exactly the same, especially with the turnaround time of the 15 to 20 minute results. So guys, when we think about it overall, again with Zomedica, we have to understand, look at this, we're just seeing a continued run. There's some questions that need to be answered for us to be confident and to gain conviction for our investment. The things that I reached out to Zomedica with an email, I stated here, mentioned information about my channel, but some of the questions I had is, what is the cost of the Truforma? We need to be able to compare it to the current competitors in the market. Will the Truforma outperform other point-of-care testing devices based on your projections? Me asking Zomedica's headquarters, Zomedica's exec team directly. Projected revenue forecast for Q2 2021 after the launch of the Truforma. Another question we need answered ASAP, so we can have, again, that confidence in our investment decision. When can we anticipate other assays integrated with Truforma outside of thyroid and adrenal? So again, they mention it here. One of the big things, the arguments in favor, is that we are looking for them to add additional, having the additional diagnostics available outside of just adrenal and with cortisol or thyroid. So TSH, T4, those kind of things. So those are big things that we are looking to get answers for. Next, the other thing I listed here in my email is there a goal of how many Truforma systems you would like to sell by year end? That would be good if they have some projections set. Again, I just want to know if they do have those projections, which they should, because they're such a growing business, and these are things that usually companies like Zomedica would be looking at. And last but not least, my 7th question that I had for Zomedica's HQ team is talks about contracts with vet offices. Are they in talks about contracts? Have they signed any that they haven't disclosed yet to the public? All this information would really, really help us individually, especially for all of us who decided to invest in, thinking again that this one has some true potential. Last thing I want to mention before I end the video. So again, thank you so much for everybody who decided to tune in. I just wanted to give a quick update on what we've been talking about, and that is again Zomedica. But if you do want to join Webull, you do get 2 free stocks when you deposit $100 if you use my link below. The video is brought to you by Webull. I am an affiliate, and I truly do believe in their platform, because you can trade in the pre-market and the aftermarket, and that is the biggest advantage that you get relative to Robinhood. In addition, you get charts, technical analysis, those kind of things. So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. And as always, feel free to join us on the free Discord. Join the Patreon if you'd like to. Things have just been fantastic. We are less than 70 subscribers away from 20,000. I did not anticipate we would hit that number this year, but I think we're going to see it hopefully by March end, before the Truforma does launch as well. So big month for everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, everybody, keep investing.